Okay, in this tutorial we're going to explore how to use Google Drive and the various apps within it to do some digital handwriting. Now, I'm not recommending this as, the optimal solution for digital handwriting. I far prefer things like an iPad with something like Notability or Penultimate. However, if all you have is a Google Chromebook, for example, or a PC, and you would still like your students to be able to experiment with and even start to use some digital handwriting to demonstrate their mastery and practice, then this is a possible solution. So the first thing that we'll do is, for example, look at this here. This is called Drive Races, and I created this for my students to practice using the Chromebooks in order to accomplish a task using handwriting. And so you can see the rules and everything in place here. Basically player one, player two, and they're competing very much like board races, but instead of using a dry erase board, they're using their device. And the way they'd need to do this is basically select the problem. In this case, we have number one here, 6,040 and 3/10 plus 87 and 792 thousandths. We need to add those two decimals. Then you click underneath, you go to Insert, come down to Drawing. It's the fourth option. And when you click that, it opens up an actual drawing template, if you will. And then you just come in here, you can right click or two-finger tap on a Chromebook, paste. I typically resize these so that it doesn't take up too much room. And at this point, the student is ready to actually do the handwriting. Now, in order to do this, you come over to your line tool, and you're going to click on the select line option here and come down to Scribble. Now, with Scribble, there is a little catch. You really aren't able to do straight lines with Scribble. Let me demonstrate. Hopefully I can do a straight line. Let's say that I had a nice straight line. See, that one I kind of curved at the end, and it's okay. But if I do a really straight line like this, it disappears on me, and it doesn't let that happen. Same is the case for a vertical line as well. Now, obviously, if you do little squiggles, then it does fine. But when you do a straight up and down, and I did a little dog leg there, you can see. It's actually harder than you'd think to do. Yeah, there's another dog leg. It's harder than you think to do a straight line. See, I did that one, nice straight, and it wouldn't show up. And the reason for that is it's Scribble. It's looking for curvature in your actual drawing. If you want straight lines, you got to go to the line tool. So let's go ahead and do this problem here. We have 6,000, and I would have students line up their problem vertically, giving themselves plenty of space. The nice thing about this is that you can resize everything once you actually bring it into the document. So we have 6,040. Now here's a little problem. We got to do a decimal. I do a little squiggle like that and it does just fine. If you were to just click a dot, it wouldn't show up. Oh, look at that 3. That's awful. Just do Control Z to take that off and we'll be good to go. And you just got to have a little bit of patience, experiment with it. Okay, then we have our plus sign. Again, that's going to be, you want to do a dog leg at the very end. If you've done a nice straight line, it just puts that little dog leg there and it lets it come in. All right, so now we have 87. Of course, we're lining up our decimals like good mathematicians will. 87 and then 792. And I'm doing this completely and totally on a MacBook mouse pad. And so, is it the neatest of handwriting? No, but I don't have the neatest of handwriting with a paper and pencil. So therein lies the situation. Now at this point you could annex your zeros and solve the problem. I'm not going to take time to do that. I'll just click Save and Close, and you can see it brings it right in. Now what you can do is resize at that point and really make it fit however you want. And you can see it actually kind of neatens it up a little bit as you do that. You can then, if you choose to, center your work, make it right justified, do whatever you want. But everything that was in that canvas comes in. So that's one option. The other option is, let's say that you have a PDF, and I'm going to go ahead and search for a PDF here. I'll just do .pdf so that a number of them pop up. And I'm going to scroll down to one that basically has multiplying decimals, multiplying fractions perhaps. Let's do multiplying fractions. Now I'm going to click on this, and so any PDF can be done like this, and you go ahead and follow through and open from the preview. Now once it's open, you're going to just right click off in space somewhere. You can do that anywhere and it'll pop up, and you're just going to copy the image. At this point, you go ahead and open Google Drive and create a drawing. Now these are all your standard ones. These over here are ones that I've added from the Chrome store. But over here you want drawing. Once you open that drawing, it gives you a blank canvas. You can right click, paste, and it brings your PDF right into the canvas. Now you can see it doesn't bring it in neatly. I prefer to bring it up into the corner. Down here you can actually stretch out your canvas and make it fit right in line with your PDF. At this point, I prefer to just zoom in because I'm going to be working on one problem here. And students could get going. You go to your Scribble at this point, and they're writing right over the top of this. Okay, if you have your students rewrite the fraction, which I typically would, here they go. You got 3. Make sure to put in the dog leg, 3/10. And at this point you may be looking at this and going, ooh, look at that. It's actually, this button right here allows you to change the width of the scribble mark. And so you can go to 1 pixel, and now it's going to really kind of shorten that up a little bit, makes it a little more legible, more like a pencil. And now we can rewrite the rest of this problem. Okay, nice straight line. Look, it disappeared. Do a little dog leg at the end, and it'll show up. There we go. 7/7. Okay, at this point they might cross cancel, divide by 2. Again, with dividing, I do a little loop-de-loo like that. Anytime I need a dot, I do a little loop-de-loo, and it shows up just fine. Divide by 2. And you would do the same down here for 10. Continue on until you've shown all your work. So that's it. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward process. It takes a little bit of practice to get good at it and make it legible. I always told my students, hey, if I can read it, we're good. You'll get neater as you go. And so that's the way to use Google Drive with drawing and also with docs to allow for digital handwriting. Give it a shot, see if you like it. If it doesn't work for you, I always say punt. So hopefully you enjoy your newfound skills, and happy computing.